KI Culture Radio. This is why I told you guys I always hit that notification bell and hit all, because you never know where we may go live. You never know where we may surprise you. As you walk in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You have us already. And please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. However, today is a special edition. I will go ahead and introduce this guest. Thank you for tuning in to KI Culture Radio. Hey, hey guys, go ahead, Jordan. Do your thing. This is a special. Go ahead.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? Like Ronnie said, we surprised you guys because we got a special guest for you guys. I want to introduce you guys. I went to high school with. He's a graduate of mine. We graduated on 09 at Pontiac Northern High School. So I want you guys to give it up for words. Hey, man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, chilling. My day off, just relaxing, be on a podcast.
All right, man. Good to hear, man. Good to see you had the free time to come and join us, and we could chop it up, man. We appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. So thank you. You got it all situated. So reason I brought him in here is because I saw a clip that he did to talk about, black men and black women's debate about relationships and everything. And I thought it was very, very interesting how you broke it down and talk about it. So I had to get him here and really, we come to Carecross Road to really, really chop it up because, this is what we see around, social media, from YouTube, from TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, about, how we do, debate, black women and black men. And so we're definitely going to discuss on it. Hakeem, we're gonna play the video. After that, we're gonna chop it up.
I hate the black women versus black men debate. It's the most annoying thing on social media right now. I think it always been a thing, but now it's more so broadcasted because of social media. And I think it started to pick up steam around maybe 3 years ago with certain influencers speaking about it, and then everybody just joined in, it's annoying, like I said. And I feel like it's molding people's minds to think of relationships between the black men and black women in a negative light, which I don't like. And it's almost like it's people just debating about how bad black men and black women are to each other, and it's just it make me cringe because it's just it's not really helping anybody's situation, to be honest. I always say that both men and women have a burden, and we should understand each other's burden. Everybody's burden is different, but we should come together and understand it, even though it might be hard sometimes, but you gotta have patience with each other. And I think people lack patience with each other. And I think people is with people they shouldn't be with, for real. And I feel like it's a lot of work to do between black men and black women to basically get back on, what I hate? I hate the black.
To me, that right there, when I watched, I was like, man, I got to get him on the show. Because because we in the Chaos Coast Rare, we talk about this, all the time. We have topics like this and everything, relationships and everything. So I'm gonna pass it to you, T. How do, like I said, you talk about the impact, but what do you see in your eyes in social media and also in the community, how it's affecting our black community and relationships?
Well, for on social media, I think it's more so now it's kind of like a tool to get likes and views and engagement. So I think a lot of people just piling on to that issue because it drives engagement. Like I said, I think it happened 3 years ago. I kind of will blame Kevin Samuels a little bit because he kind of started that wave where everybody's like, oh, this is a thing I can get views for, and everybody just start piling on it. And so I think it kind of it's hurting people because people actually listening to it and taking it in, believing some of the stuff, or internalizing it and using it in their real life. Because I think everybody is an individual, everybody's life is different, and you can't really generalize a whole group of people to me like that. That's something I really dislike, and I think that's just what's going on social media right now and what's going on in society right now.
This is the point. I always speak about this all the time. Shout out to everybody that's here already. That's already welcome to that. Sugar Bomb, Harris Group Media, Barry White. What's going on, sweetheart? What's going on? I hope you're having a happy Saturday. Fresh Sound, Florida. Those that's on Facebook, TikTok, and also on Twitch. And also Welcome. Well, yeah, I know. Saturday. Now I'll tell you guys to hit that notification bell. You never know where you might slip up and go live. That's why it's very important to click on. But yeah. So here's my thing. I talk about this a lot on the aspect of because I go to different people panel. I always say that it's always seemed like it's an agenda to as either going to attack black men or because it's back is a great way to generate revenue. People get cash apps, super chats, and also it's an easy way to bash. Prime example, black women. Black women, big topic for everybody on social media. You talking about early things. You talking about Cam Samuel. You talking about Angry Man. The list go on and on. No, I'm not trying to take no shades. I'm just speaking the facts. I think most of these guys know is the best way to generate revenue. Now, when it comes to that black man, you have Cynthia G. The list goes on and on and on and on and on because they know that when anything that goes black pretty much means wealth. And that's the issue we've been facing, and that's why I was gonna come up with the topic, like not here, but on someone else's podcast about the simple fact: why do black women and black men never get along? It's because simple is causing that. It's causing that division. But I can see for now. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, for me, I definitely agree with that. Me, being in Pontiac, but still being a family, I've never seen, especially in my family, see, black women, black men and black women, just, rumble, talk bad with each other and everything. So, now growing up and looking through these spaces and everything, and, all these, content creators, and influencers talk about it, and just really putting the spotlight on it and it's making it revenue, man. It's just, and the thing is, it's like, it's a nonstop. It's like I said, you see people doing it on a daily basis, and they make it. And to me, it's just like it's gonna make it look worse. For doing year by year because now that people in 2023 and beyond now. YouTube and the social media is just at its all-time high and everything.
Social media is basically TV now. It's basically just TV.
Exactly. That's exactly now it's like I said, it's our TV, and now how we could we keep consuming this stuff, and how other not just black people but other races just consuming this stuff, not just here in America, but in other countries, in Africa. And South America, in Asia, you see like I said, you see I talked about the other day. You see how the Filipino the content creator from the Philippines, she said, she's more of a type say, hey, we see how black women treat the black man, and if that's the case, we'll take bring the black men over here to the Philippines and everything. So now you see it's spread not just America but all around the globe and everything. And by doing that, that's just doing a disservice in our black community. Now here on KL Culture Radio, we don't do nothing like that. We for relationship, we always try to find solutions how we can, build a better relationships, long-term relationships, better marriage and everything. And the thing is, we don't put women accountable or men accountable. We point on, for each ways and everything. If men, you should be accountable for this. We should put you accountable. Same thing for women. We just don't pick and choose anything like that. And I feel like more content like we have here at KL Culture Radio. How we push it and everything. I think it would be more helpful. But the thing is, it's like. With these other content creators, and one of them I want to say is Fresh and Fit. Look how Fresh and Fit, they really bashing black women, like bashing. It's just so crazy to me. And you got two that they have to have black skin, but they continue to do it because they continue to get super chats, they continue to get views, they continue to get memberships and all that type of stuff, and it's just sad to see that, but that's how it is in our YouTube, in the social media spaces.
All you brothers spoke eloquently, and I want to thank Mr. T Words for putting out that post, because it's a conversation that needs to be had, and seriously, because there is an agenda for us not to get along if people don't see that. Now, there's something I wanted to comment that you say, T, to bring in Kevin Samuels. And Ronnie mentioned Cynthia G. There have always been negative conversations on both sides, from men and women. You had the Tommy Sotomayor's, You had a lot of these in Cynthia G's calling us Dusties. You have the divestors. Kevin now brought it to light that, yes, is a civil war going on against black men and black women. Now, mind you, we're not against interracial relationships. I just want to put that out there who's watching us. If you love somebody, fall in love with what we love. Here we support black love. When I look at Jordan and his wife, they give me an example of black love. When I look at my mother and my father, who's been together 42 years, black love. Coming in our days, as I got older, the conversations we having now, 1991, 1995, 1996, even the early 2000s. Shout outs to Natasha Vincent. I love you. Shout outs to Happy. Love you too. So the question is that I'm saying is this: when did the issue started to become a national situation that black men and black women had issues with each other? We've always had issues. It's finding a medium to get those things down packed where it's very multi-layered.
But I think some of that conversation shouldn't be on social media. I think it should be a lot more so internal to like people to come together and just talk about it, but not on social media. Because I feel like social media make you too vulnerable and people can like easily judge stuff you saying. So I feel like it should be more internal than like just out in the open like that.
No, I think it should be on social media because this is. I think if y'all haven't seen what happened with Kai in New York, that shows you the power of social media. Because social media is very powerful, but I think it's used for darkness instead of using for light. Because if you have someone like Kai who is able to get that massive crowd like that, it just show you the power of social media. So if black men, like strong black men, like prime example, like Hakeem used a lot, like Kevin Samuel, if he was really strong and not focus too much on, like they would say, bashing or belittling black women, his content would have been as further as it is today. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm gonna bring up another name back in the 90s, in the late 80s and early 90s. And she was, even though she was trying to bash it, she was trying to find a solution. That was Shahrazad Ali, at the time. She came out with a book, and not just for women. She had a book about, how to handle a black woman and also how to handle a black man. And she has to say, and the books are still out there. But the thing is, back in the 80s, when she was coming for black women, the majority of black women was getting on her, because she was trying to hold the ladies accountable, and and try to fix the black relationship, the black love, and everything. And I remember at the time, what's her name? Ayala Van Sant at the time. She had beef with Shahrazad Ali at the time. Beef. Now in 2023, she see what Shahrazad was talking about, how black women are out of order, and how Shahrazad Ali was trying to fix that with just a black woman in general and also black men. But as you can see from 1991 to 2023, as of now, it's like you can see it's getting worse. And the stat is, especially black women, even though black women they outnumber more than us, they're the least likely to get married. And the thing is, with us, we're trying to figure out, okay, how can we fix that? How can we find solutions to fix that? And that's especially for us in here. That's what we're trying to find a solution. How do we get more relationships like that? Because living in major cities, especially here at T, because I live in LA right now. Me and my wife, we've been here in LA for like almost 4 years now. We have never met no black. Well, one, they're engaged, but we never met anybody, a black couple that's been married.
Oh wow!
You've been here for 4 years. We don't know nobody.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Nobody. You probably, I don't know if you guys say the same thing, because Ronnie and Hakeem, they're in Miami.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, you mean new couples or people that I know back? I haven't met nobody new couple in the last 7 years.
New couple.
One of my homies got married like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I only know it's one person I grew up with that's married, but like it's the only two that I know that's married, that's like been married for a while with kids,
and they're both black.
Yes.
Now, mind you, I've met a lot of interracial married couples. Let me preference that.
Probably because it's highly promoted. That's why they don't really promote like they used to anymore. That's why. That's probably why we never pay attention to it, because it's not something that's highly promoted. Like right now, we see a lot of interracial. Like most people say, I'd rather date a Hispanic than actually date a black woman. Or black woman. Most black women say, man, you need to go white instead of going black. A black man don't really benefit no wealth, don't really have nothing going for themselves. They pretty much banded like Sugar Bun say, and you know that's what's being spread. So that's what people seeing. Go ahead.
I want to mention something to y'all, and to say that black women have been our biggest allies for a long time, still are. The only time I could remember, because for a lot of people don't know, when I went to college, I studied Africana Studies in Massachusetts. So one point was the dynamics of the black household in America. And, you know, we're going through tons of books. The first time I've ever heard of any issue between the conflict between men and women was starting into like the 1970s and 72, where there was old videos in New York and other places where women was talking about, and then you had the drug era and stuff like that. But even still then, I still try to question and wonder is now today, there's so much content out here where men are, even with the whole passport bro situation, which I have no offense on them. I don't know if this is just a ploy to divide us even more, because still to this date, there's tons of eligible black women to marry. If we get over the trauma, the disrespect, and a lot of the things that are even be promoted. And if we were able to start hearing the cries of women and men. So I'm trying to preface this on both things. And let me give a caveat again. We're not against interracial relationships. You want to date a Latino, go ahead. You want to date a white girl, go ahead. Nothing's wrong with that. I come from a very diverse family. But black love is serious to me because I grew up around black Americans. My first girlfriend was black American. You know what I'm trying to say? I've only dated black women, dark-skinned black women. So I try to understand when I hear women and they have a narrative that's being promoted. I said, those are not your talking points. You had got that from somewhere. You know what I mean? So I want y'all brothers' opinion on this as far as that. How do we move forward from this path that we're going to? Because this ain't helping nobody. People still ain't getting married, and more people are getting divorced.
And I think one of the reasons because we especially in our black community, we have a lot of trauma in our black community, a lot of trauma, and we put that in our relationships. And the thing is about that, when we in relationships, we don't get healed or go get necessary talk to people or necessarily get the therapy that we need. Majority of the times, men and women, they'll bring the traumas and they'll put it to the next relationship. And they think, they want that person to fix it, that woman to fix it, or the man to fix it. And that's not the case. You're going to need to go to get some type of therapy or also get some type of couples therapy to fix that and heal that trauma. I'll tell you this, there was times a situation, me and my wife at the time, we was in a couple constantly. I talked about this before, I had some type of trauma that I had to fix, and she had some type of trauma she had to fix in the past and everything. But we was in therapy for almost like 6-7 months, all that. We did no homework because we was very invested in our marriage, very invested. So we did a homework. The first couple of months it was a little bit tough, But the thing is, as long as you're doing the homework and as long as you believe and you have a strong foundation in your marriage or in your relationship, it can work out. I just believe, a lot of people in our black community, we don't get the therapy that we need. And to me, I think we need to continue pushing that, for couples and individuals so we can, have, better relationship on the long term.
I think that my generation, we haven't seen like successful relationships. Like I grew up in a single parent home. So I've never seen like that type of relationship between a man and a woman. But like I would have to try to learn for myself how to do it. And have the woman have to learn for herself how to do it, because I know a lot of women I've talked to, they not cool with they fathers, or they even like have internal stuff with their moms. So it's like you gotta like probably heal that with everything.
And that's the issue we're facing. The single parent homes. I think we gotta start from there. We have to start, because that's the only improvement that's going to benefit the black community in the long haul. Because if the father's not there or the mother's not there, because there's some that actually lead the child over to the father, they don't say nothing about that though. But if the parent's not there, then the child grows up and see, okay, I don't understand how society truly function or how a man and woman truly interact. That's why right now, what's going on right now, a lot of black men don't even know how to talk to a black woman correctly.
Mm.
A lot of black women don't even know how to talk to a black man correctly because of the simple fact the father's not there or the mother's not there, and that's what's causing harm in the community. And you can actually see it when you ever see it. I don't know if you ever seen it. There's something called the black manosphere, where there's black men literally all day, every day going in on black women. You can see it in their face that they are frustrated with them because of the simple fact of they don't get it. They don't know how to talk to them. So the best way for me to talk to them and say, you ain't this, you all of that. You like Shukiana and all this BS. But at the end of the day, it makes us look bad as black men.
And also, I put up a post like not too long ago where like if I ask a woman for a number and she don't want to give it to me, I'd be like, you don't got to give it to me. It's no problem. But a woman I know, she was like she glad that she heard me say that because she's afraid of guys coming up to her. And I'd be like, I don't want you to be afraid of me because you reject me. I just be like, okay, that's cool. I can go to the next person. I don't want any woman I come in contact with to be afraid of me, or any black woman to come in contact with me to be afraid of me.
That's crazy.
Brother, but you're echoing the voices of what a lot of women are screaming now. I want to read this comment before I go into that. Natasha Vincent says she only heard of gender war when she got on this part of YouTube. Outside is different, and that's the reality of it. But I also want to point at this. Dating, relationships, and marriages have evolved in the last 20 years. The way we approach women 10 years ago has to be different than the way we approach women now. There's some nuances with it that we have to take some of the old ways to the new way. Black women are scared of black men right now. If you dare not give the number, we calling you a B and H, you might even get harmed. There was a story in New York at the carnival. This girl didn't want to talk to this guy. He shot her in the face.
That's crazy.
Shot her in the face, killed her right dead in the midst of the carnival. So I also want to talk to black men in this. You have 3 love in your life: your mama, your girl, and your child. We need to get back to loving our woman and get back to handling our woman appropriately, the way we have always been, as our partner, as our equal, and to be gentle and handle them like fragile creatures. This misconception that America has put on black women, and this is the reason why a lot of us men are approaching us in a very aggressive, sometimes passive aggressive and aggressive manner. They think she can handle pressure just as well as us. Kevin Samuel says pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. And this is the main reason is accountability has to be taken on both parts. And this is why I think this is where the issue has come to a part. We need to go back loving our black women. And it takes men to sit and talk to understanding, okay, what are we doing wrong? Who are the outliers in our community, fresh and fit? A lot of these manosphere guys who listen, I'm gonna be honest with you and say that if I seen Tommy Sotomayor today, I would smack him in his face. I would smack him, punch him in his face. He used to call black women hyenas and stuff like this. And I also, I'm going to say this, and I want y'all brothers to do this. Men who have problem with women are the men who are not able to get them or who don't know how to talk to them. I've never had no issue like that.
That's facts about that. With Tommy Sotomayor, talk about black women, they're bitches and this. But the thing is, when he yells and screams, he acts just like a bitch. I'm sorry, he does. He like I say, wherever he says to a woman, he does the exact same thing as a woman. To me, he is mirroring what a woman does and a woman says and everything. He's doing the exact same as that woman does. But I don't know, was Tommy Sotomayor had a father in his life? I'm not sure.
He did not have a father in his life, and he had repeatedly blamed his mother for that. Called her all kind of B's and H's on many live streams. Because I used to watch him.
So he got the simple fact is now, don't get me wrong, there are some group of women because the group of women he's referring to is a woman like Sexy Red, Shikiana, Summer Walkers. Those are the black women he's referring to. He's not talking about the black women like Natasha Vision, Sherry Bryan. Shout out to Sherry. She's also here in the chat. So like people like those type of women, he's not referring to those type of women are trying to big up the community and try to help the community. But women like Shikiana, Summer Walkers, and Sexy Red, they doing harm to the community than good.
But I won't say that, but the problem with that, he be having sex with them though.
Yep.
Because that's it. Nothing more.
He just had a new son with a black woman. If you hate black women so much, go have a baby with a white one.
He do have white. I admit to that. I listen to his comments. So he do have white girlfriends, but the one he even say those girls are used for sex, and you can see because most of the stuff they come out with is mostly sexual explicit or sexual explicit content. That's what they do.
I want to read this comment here. Natasha Vincent says, Prince Hakeem, that's less a black issue than a class issue and environment surroundings and issues. It's rare that black men approach me rudely. Conversely, I am not rude to them either. It's not necessary. She's stating something real serious here. If we go to DC, because you know DC have a black upper class, Prince George County and stuff like that. Y'all know, and y'all probably have that in Michigan. You know what I mean? Depending on what area you're in places like Maryland, it seems to be like with the negative approach on women has to be in more of a maybe more ghetto areas.
I'm not sure. Like, do I approach women? I usually build a rapport with them first, and then if I like the conversation, then I proceed to like get the number and take her out. But I don't just walk up to like a random girl and be like, hey, let me get your number. That's just not how I operate personally.
No, that's the old school way of talking to. That's right. That's the old school way. That's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, guys don't do that today. They just like, yo, your number, give me your IG. They be like this, yo, what's your IG? What's your phone number?
Yeah. And then if like she don't want to give you the number, like that's fine. That's like I just all right, keep pushing.
But you do that, most guys will react.
I don't understand that to me personally.
They'll get really upset, and I seen it firsthand.
That's crazy.
Sugar Bum, I don't know what you're talking about. She said y'all never push positive content about black women. Are you serious?
She better go through our catalog. I don't know what she's talking about.
Sugar,
we got 400 episodes, baby, and 90% of them are women.
You just be talking.
Yeah, don't worry, T. She's our lovely troll. She loves us because she come in every day. Yeah.
Listen, that's my thumbnail. That's my thumbnail. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. I love you, baby, just like I love Sherry Bryan. Shout outs to you and Natasha Vincent. You know, I'll be there for you.
We talking about black women being attacked. We talking about black women getting deleted. We talking about black women how they need support. You got to go look at our catalogs, man. We got a lot of that.
Hey, Sugar, and when the Carly Russell, you know, me and Rob, we was on before she live. You know, we was our #1 supporters. Even if other people was thinking about, you know, the story was fishy. You know, we was our #1 supporter until we found like it was a hoax. It was a lie. So here in Chaos Culture Radio, we support black women until we got to hold you accountable. She's something else, yo.
She's something else.
Yeah. T, you gonna get used to her. You stick around, you'll see her a lot.
Okay.
Just have fun with her.
There is a point I wanted to point, and I want y'all guys to comment on this as far as just where I think the divide comes to, and I want to speak since I don't want people to think. I want to speak from a male perspective. Do you think this generation of men are not hearing what women want? Because here's the thing, dating has evolved. I said that again. You know, a lot of women want men who are financially secure, mentally secure, and spiritually secure. And I think that, are we overlooking the cries that women are talking about? And should men who wants to be with black women, understanding what black women want, if you know you're not in a financial space to be with a woman, or in a mental space to be with a woman, or in a spiritual space, should you check yourself out in the dating pool?
Go ahead, T, you go first.
I think some dudes don't really care. They don't care to hear what women got to say because they feel like they the man. But I think, like me personally, I feel like I ain't really in a financial stability state to me personally. So I don't really date for real. I'm trying to I work. I mostly work and trying to figure out my next move. And then if that woman comes that I vibe with and I connect with, then I like proceed with the relationship thing.
I think one of the biggest fears of men today in society is the aspect of not understanding to know that you have to know what the woman actually wants.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, with a lot of these content that's out here today, they're telling men, no, focus on yourself, focus on yourself, focus on yourself. Don't worry about the woman will come. But then what happened is the guy focuses on himself, he gets the career, he gets the job, he gets the money, but he don't get the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Then now he's upset. Now he listens to a lot of red pill content like fit because of the fact that he was taught wrong. To me, I think if we listen to what the woman wants, that's a wise man. A wise man will understand, okay, I understand this woman wants, this is what she wants. Let me study it, let me analyze it, and let me see it could be beneficial to me in the long term. If you want a man to make this figure, because the simple fact is she want to be able to help, she want to be able to, pretty much she want to be able to allow the man to have that type of money so she can use it to build her own business, and that in exchange will help you in the long run. People keep forgetting Jeff Bezos, and they get big off himself. He had a woman supporter helping him, his ex-wife. So people forget that. So, and at the end, what happened at the end of the day? She ended up with a big check with like 20 billion.
Yeah, big. Which she deserved. Which she deserved.
Because he understood the fact of what she wanted. She wanted him to be in that totem pole. She helped him get there, and then what happened at the end result? She won big. Now she's set for life, and she still has share in the company too. So if men understand it, see, white men understand that. I think black men, that's one of our issues, and I think that's what we fell at. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's the number one thing about a man that they're not listening and communication. You know, you have to listen to the woman. If you want to put a certain type of woman, if you're not meeting those needs, then that just tells you, hey, you know, maybe she's not the right woman for you. Or you need to, you know, build what you need to build, you know, be the best version of yourself. Either it's wealth, physical, health, whatever. But the thing is, if you want that specific type of woman and you have the stuff that you need, you know, it's about listening and communication, but also she's going to see it with your actions as well. If she sees it with your actions that you're doing something, okay, she's going to, okay, I want to know more. What's your short-term goals? What's your long-term goals? Okay. If you keep doing this, now she's gonna rock with you. Now she say, hey, I think I'm gonna build with you as well. Let's keep building. And then once if you find that builder, okay, you found the right one. You might find one that could have reach to a long-term relationship or possibly marriage. And the possibilities that, hey, I'm a builder, and okay, I want your kids. You know, you gotta, like I said, I feel like, man, you have to listen, and to me, you got to communicate. Learn how to communicate with your woman. You know, always, be kind. Be kind. And also, talk good with your woman. I feel like in certain relationships, and I learned that in my couples counseling. Always, give, say good things to your woman or to your man. Stuff like that help. Little stuff like that helps. When you say, hey, babe, I appreciate you. I love you. Just make sure you tell your partner that you appreciate it.
Yeah, speak life into them.
Exactly. Speak life into them. Once you speak life to your partners, it keeps your relationship stable or your marriage stable. And that's very, very important. But the thing is like, especially 2023, I know how the dating market is, especially in our community. There's no communication there, and the thing is like we need to keep pushing stuff like this to say how to make this relationship works, how to make these marriages work, because if you don't, you just go into people just go in relationship. They might do the basic things, but the thing is they might stop doing the basic things, how to make a relationship work. Communication every day, make sure speak a lot to your partner, because stuff like that is very, very important.
Not criticizing what the black woman want, understanding if you can't fit it, we should not shame her for that. If she wants a man who makes six figures, then she deserves that. Now, mind you, a woman should not criticize a man for what he wants as well. If he wants a woman that's physically fit, he should be able to get that. Now, mind you, you got women who understands a man's position and work with you while you broke until you get to your point. But then it's the whole thing that they don't want to go through struggle love. They don't want to go through. I don't disagree with women like that. I don't criticize them for what they want. And some men need to understand, if that's the woman you want, you know you're going to have to work to get her. With white men and Hispanic men, they understand the process in general. They was like, I want Sally. I understand what type of family Sally comes for. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go become a doctor. We need to have the same drive and tenacity for the black women who we want. A lot of our black women go to HBCUs. A lot of our black women become nurses and go this. But the simple men who walk around say, "Oh, you need to bow down and accept us the way we are." No, she doesn't have to do that. Then we can't say that we don't want peppers around us. If you can't accept her wanting a man who makes money, then you can't say, "Oh, I don't want no fat girl." No, it's two different things, homie. Yeah. And I'm just go ahead, brother.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like you shouldn't criticize each other's wants for real to be. That's my thing. You should, like, if a girl wants something and I don't get it, I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm the type of person where I can kind of move along. Like if you don't like something I do or something I don't have, I can just move on. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. One of my biggest things, one thing I do hate is the lack of communication. Communication is key. And I think that's one thing in the black community. I think we don't have enough communication. We talk about our wants, we talk about our needs, but are we communicating with our significant other? But then we wait till something happens dramatically. Then that when we communicate, we wait till we go to the counselor, or go to the pastor, go to the priest, or go see somebody, or go see. So then we explain like, "Oh, I want my woman to do this, but she ain't doing it." And what's the number one thing they always say? Do you communicate? Man, shout out to No Chaser and shout out to SD. Welcome. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
And the thing is about wants and needs, that's the easiest thing to say, move on to the next person. Because I feel like sometimes when people want wants and needs, they feel like some men and women, they feel like, oh, I think I could change that. I don't know why people think that. You cannot do that. And people think that, oh, if I marry her, I think I could change that. Or I be in a relationship, I can change that. No.
You cannot change it. You can't change a person. You can like inspire somebody, but that don't mean they're gonna change. You gotta like take somebody how they are at that moment in time. If they doing something like you're not really vibing with, you just gotta like let them go.
Facts, and that's easy. And I feel like, I don't know why we think that. We think you change a bunch of no. Only people they could change and change themselves. And if you think like you change a person, you cannot do that. Maybe you could persuade somebody, but you cannot change somebody. Period. And that needs to be. And to me, if you were like in a date or something like that, whatever, or if you see somebody, you make one with somebody, if you wants and needs. If you don't feel like you want some needs, just move on. And it makes it easier for you too. Until you find somebody, y'all maybe have similar wants and needs. And that's the case, okay. And there you go. That's a fresh start right there. Okay, let's see what else you can build on that. If there's other stuff that stuff you might like that you might not like, okay. This is not for me. You just move on. But trying to stay in a relationship and see you could change their wants and needs, that is not going to work out. Period.
I want to mention a word that everybody knows that women have an issue with, and I want to tell you why they have an issue with patriarchy. A lot of men run with that. A lot of men run with the word patriarchy, being a leader, doing this, but they forget one key component that the men in the 70s, the 60s, and the 50s was doing. They was compromising with their wives. Now we have men today who don't want to do any compromising. I'm the man, you do what I say, and this is it. Because I hear that echo so many times when understanding a good leader is also a good listener and a good follower. You know what I mean? And this is the issues we have now as far as this whole black woman conflict is, and I've heard women talk about this. You said you want to be a leader, but you can't lead. Some of us.
My bad. I feel like dudes want to be bosses, not leaders.
That's a good one, T. Good one. That's
they want to be the boss, the only person that got something to say. But a leader's person, like a leader's supposed to, all right, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Then we can like move accordingly to like what everybody everybody needs to do or want to do or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's what they call a servant leader. A servant leader. That's a servant leader. A servant leader is able to direct somebody and at the same time able to learn as well. But the problem is a lot of these men are listening to a lot of these real pill content and they thinking, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, knowing that majority of the time these real pill content creators are trying to keep you single so you can keep sitting in a dope.
Yep.
That's the whole idea, and a lot of people don't tend to not understand that. They're doing that so you can keep subscribing to their channel, keep watching their content, and now that keep super chatting and keep cash apping them. And that's what it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's imperative that we need to understand the position we in as far as and as far as how can we get to a point where there's no such thing as a gender war. You know what I'm saying? And there's no such thing as, oh, a black man has an issue with a black woman.
Yeah, T, do you have a YouTube channel? People are asking it in the chat.
Yeah, I do like music and stuff like that. I could put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Send it to me, and then I'll drop it, and then we'll promote.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Truth, you there? No, I don't think it's.
Yes, are y'all able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. How you brothers doing today?
Doing good.
Doing fabulous, Truth. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Great to parlay with you guys. Appreciate you.
It's blessed to have you here, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you said drop. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, what's your take of Truth? Go ahead.
So I just came in. So fill me in with everything that you guys were talking about. I heard the gentleman. What's your name, sir?
My name is T.
All right, T. Yeah, I heard what he was. I heard just the last little thing he said. So what's the whole dialogue? I know I see black men and versus black women, but which way were y'all going? So I know.
Let me replay the clip. Hold on.
Yeah, this is from. We'll play a clip where T played, and you can go on from that.
Yeah, T, I got your YouTube.
Okay.
1 minute. Damn. So he made a hold on 1 minute.
Black women versus black men debate. It's the most annoying thing on social media right now. I think it always been a thing, but now it's more so broadcasted because of social media. And I think it started to pick up steam around maybe 3 years ago with certain like influencers speaking about it, and then everybody just joined in, which it's annoying, like I said. And I feel like it's molding people's minds to think of relationships between a black man and black women in a negative light, which I don't like. And it's almost like it's people just debating about how bad black men and black women are to each other. And it's just like, it make me cringe because it's just like, it's not really helping anybody's situation, to be honest. I always say that both men and women have a burden, and we should understand each other's burden. Everybody's burden is different, but we should like come together and understand it, even though it might be hard sometimes, but you gotta have patience with each other. And I think people lack patience with each other. And I think people is with people they shouldn't be with for real. And I feel like it's a lot of work to do between black men and black women to basically get back on, like, you know what I
Go ahead, Truth. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I agree with he was saying. For me, the dynamic between black men and, well, just not, I'm gonna just say men and women in general. There's a bigger thing at play here, and we have what's called a war, and then we have what's inside of those wars are battles. One of the battles that we have to go through that we seem to have not, even won any leadway at all is the race battle, or people call it a war, but it's a battle inside of what the big war that we are facing right now. So we got the race battle, we got the battle of the sexes, and we got so many other battles. So right now, the battle between men and women, it has become more prevalent now because our families over the years are being destroyed, and there are less and less families, and it's clear to see now. It's so much dysfunction and division between men and women that we can't even come together on very, very simple things. And it's because it's so many distractions ahead. In the forefront, which used to be our foundation, which was the family, people don't care about family no more. So as long as people don't care about family no more, that was the main glue that brought men and women together, because that is the reason why we were created, was for family. It wasn't because for work. It wasn't for money. It was for family. It was for the building block of civilization. It was for marriage. It was for covenant. That's the reason why we were created. So essentially, majority of us are out of purpose. So naturally, we're going to clash. And when you don't have people just willing to not submit to each other, first you got to submit to what you were created and what you are. We are in an era now that you're no longer a man or a woman, you're something else. So that shows how far we're falling, and that fallen state is picking up. So it's very hard until we can just get back to the simple thing of man and woman and not defer from that. And then we can start going to, family. And then how do you do family? We don't want to do family like how family has always been done. The household was ran by the husband, but now that is looked at as a bad thing. It never was looked at as a bad thing. Everybody had their role, and everybody was happy to be what they are. Men were happy to be men, and women were happy to be women. Nobody wanted to be, the other. I don't want to be a woman, but it is men out here that you can clearly hear them, and they want to be women, and vice versa. So as long as it's going to be that conundrum, it's going to be divide. And the more you see out here that men are wanting to be what they are created to be, you see women coming up against that, because it takes away what they are trying to, trying to force themselves to be. They want to step in the domain of being a man and have more control and power.
Powerful take. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think, and not only that, but I think the problem is also as well, we continue to keep blaming each other. That's the first thing, that we blame each other for everything, instead of someone really taking full accountability. Like, you know what, we really messed up. We need to build back what things used to be, the traditional way. And I think the traditional way, I think it always worked. Even though right now they're trying to find the traditional way, but it seemed like it worked back then, because if marriage rate was up 80%,
Mm-hmm.
marriage rate down, as in the decline, was like 30, like close to 30%. It show you that we not doing what we supposed to be doing. So true, I do agree with you on that.
I want to. True said something real pivotal that you don't hear nobody talk about: family. When the last time we heard people talk about family and getting married and being with your woman and raising kids in the same household? We are people who are descendants from Africa, who we come from no matter where part of the diaspora you come from, we come from a community mindset. And I think we now practice individualism so much that, hey, that's not my problem with them. I'm not like them other niggas. I hear that all the time. Oh, I'm not like them. Instead of trying to understand, okay, brother, what can I do to fix this issue? What can I do to try to bring my women into the fold, back into the fold? You know what I'm saying? And to do this, so Truth really says that, and he, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, he could speak better than me because he's a father who's actively in his kid's life and you know, I've only heard him praise women, but we don't hear so many other brothers do that. We don't hear brothers talk about marriage. We just hear brothers talk about, oh, they need to submit, they need to do this. Now, don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying a woman ain't supposed to submit, but I also understand a man's supposed to be a good leader by listening to his woman. You can't be a good leader if you don't listen. Your woman also shares power with you as well. And the fact of the matter is, we're trying to control 100% of the power. Us as men can't do everything by ourselves. Our women, and let's just facts about this, are better at a million things. I had a Muslim guy told me, you ain't gonna get nowhere in life without the black woman. You can succeed as much as you want, but if you want to go further past that, you need your woman right beside you. There's only examples of that. How many brothers have we seen who are married, who are multi-millionaire, that has escalated? And we're not talking about rappers and entertainers. I'm talking about people who have done marvelous things.
Yeah.
And I want to say this too. Look at our great black leaders.
Oh.
Majority of your black leaders was married and had a black woman.
Correct.
They had that. And and to me, you're 100% right. You know, we need our black woman. You know, the black woman will elevate you. For me, as being a married man, I could attest to that. You know, from doing things out in LA that I never thought I would do, and you know, I just have somebody that can a team person, like, you know, my wife who support me, who could push me to do things like that. You know, that's very important. And to me, and once you attack each other, I don't think, you know, people realize the venom you're spitting at each and one another. You're spitting venom, and the thing is, especially if you have kids can see that, and they can process that. And once they see that, you know, you just
take it in.
Exactly, they take it in. They take it in, and you see that you're recycling the process of building up of a kid to be a man to disrespect, you know, a man or a woman.
It be like in the subconscious. They like, you might not notice you doing it to like hurting the kid, but it's in their subconscious. They like start to feel a certain way towards the parent like that.
Why you think God created women to be the most? Because a lot of people get mad and say black women are the most educated. You know why they're supposed to be the most educated? Because they're supposed to help you to better yourself as a man, to go a long haul, for a long ride. There's some women that's so smart that help men today, black men, in their businesses and their finances. The list goes on. I can give you a lot of lists when it comes to the aspect of that. But the thing is, when you come into these type of spaces, they will belittle that black woman and say, oh, no, she's using her education against you. But men don't understand that the reason why she have the education is to help you in the long haul. Because some men right now can't even read at a 4th grade level. So hell, I can't read at a 4th grade level. Hell, she can read in a higher education. She can help me fill out these paperworks. There you go. Teamwork.
I seen an interview recently that like an older gentleman, he was like, when he went to work and he gave his money to his wife to like take care of the house and stuff, take care of like the finances stuff, but he just worked for it.
but like she like basically did the house stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be your help. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, the households are household dynamic for each pair are going to be different. Like I've gotten into relationships where where certain women will become very inferior because they're used to doing a lot, like being the person to do this, do that, and they like, okay, well, what do you need me for? You see what I'm saying? And my common thing to tell them, I need you to be a woman, wife, and mother. Those three things. And those are three jobs within themselves. And see, they're used to stepping into my role because that's the way that they was raised, and then that's the relationships that they have been in. It's hard for them to now to adjust and to fall straight into their original design, and that becomes the conflict with most men like myself. You see what I'm saying? We don't need you to step into my role, what I am, being a man, husband, and father. I don't need you to do those type of things. Like you said, most back in the day, it was here's the check, you divvy it up with the bills and everything like that. Because a lot of guys weren't great at mathematics.
No.
I never got less than an A in math. Not throughout my whole being in school. Same thing with science. Mathematics and science is my thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, so with me, as far as writing down the paper, make sure I instructively make sure all these bills are paid. I'm fine with money. I'm fine. I'm very organized. I'm frugal. Those type of things, usually a woman has to step in because a lot of men aren't disciplined. I don't have that problem. You see what I'm saying? So that comes a conflict, because if they're transitioning from one relationship and they get to that man, now it becomes like kind of intimidating to them, because now they're like, okay, where's my usefulness? Well, your usefulness is going to be what you were designed for. That's what I need from you. So that's the thing, is we're so out of order, and it's crazy, men and women. And yes, this space, I think the intention was good, but the results have been horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
We already know that the first thing of organization is leadership.
Yeah.
And then usually when you have a company, you have a company motto, the vision of that company, where it's headed. And then also after that, at the end of the year, you have what's called the bottom line, where like the amount of money they want to accumulate over time to keep that company afloat and competitive. That's the same thing how a marriage, and I don't like to say business, because once we get to business, now we take the love, the nurturing, the things
Personal.
the glue of things out of it, and we make it into such a rigid
Corporate.
Yeah. So if we can find a way that men be men, and that's man, husband, father, and then women be women, wife, mother, we can start building that family back together and find that family structure. That's what I came up under. That's what I saw when I was, young. My father, my grandfather, and then when my father passed, my stepfather, it was the same line of man. They worked, they took care of the family, and my mother, I was born under marriage. I wasn't born, out of wedlock and things like that. See what I'm saying? So this is all I know, is a man to be a man and a woman to be a woman. Now, did my mother work? Yes. Eventually she did work because she had to. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Once you don't have to, then you got to start coming out of that. because it does make you hard and coarse, because now you're stepping into the role of where you have to be hard and coarse and demonstrative and forceful and all the things that make a man into a man to get jobs done, to get things, to hold the family up. You have to step in that role when they, single moms and they got to take care of boys and daughters and all that weight is on them. So we got to find ways to get back to, our original design, bro. I'm trying to think with Gentleman T and Jordan, they said something very important. So I can close out what I'm saying. Basically, the school thing. It's a different, actually Ronnie said this. It's a difference between smart and education and intelligence and wisdom. Women are very smart and educated, and they do well in school. You know why? Because of their design. They know how to follow directions. They are natural followers. Okay? So this is why they do good, because they're going to these jobs. What they do, they follow directions from, usually it's a man. They go to school, follow directions. So they do well with following directions. The problem is they got to learn to that same attribute that you're so great at. You got to bring that home too. Follow what's in that household. And if that man doesn't have that same respect as your teachers or your boss, that ain't the man you're supposed to be with. Because now you're going to make it harder on him, and you're going to make yourself more stressed.
They're all facts.
Facts. I want to read this comment here that Natasha Vincent says. She said, "Thank you, Ronnie Ron. Although all the gentlemen in my circle are extremely bright and accomplished, whether they're barely finished high school or professional themselves, women as wives amplify." Just adding to what Truth said, I also wanted to point out something that I think that we have a lot that's going on now. Both genders are weaponizing their genders now. Some people weaponize that they can make a lot of money. You have some people who weaponizing that, I got these amount of degrees, instead of getting back to the basics. And what I'm interpreting what Truth is saying, getting back to the family, getting back to the love and nurturing, and getting back to our traditional role. You know what I mean? And one key thing too, I said this earlier, and we need to get back, learning to compromise. We can't become tyrant. You know what I mean? And Truth said this: 5 minds are greater than one. You know what I mean? This is why it takes a village to raise. This is why Bangladeshi, Indians, Pakistanis, the families are very involved in the marriage of the person, the upbringing of the children, and they're commenting and this and that. We cannot be tyrants here. And this is the point that I think a lot of us men are taking this role as patriarchs to say, man, I'm the man. You're supposed to do what I say. Most women ain't going to run into no house like that. Oh, nigga, you going to tell me what to do? And then you got a lot of us who talking like that barely could scrape up $400 a month or $1,000 a month. Not saying it's about finances and everything, because we all know your woman 9 out of 10 times, whoever gets in a relationship in the United States, your woman's going to work. She has no choice to work, because we're both not making the incomes to take care of the household. Rent is $2,000 here. Let's get that straight. You're raising 2 to 3 kids. It's going to take an upwards of 120 to 140 combined to make sure things, and that's teachers, firefighters, whatever you want to say. So we're talking about, let's not even bring income in this. Let's talk about working as a team.
Thanks.
Let's talking about you still being a woman and I still being a man as we in this relationship. I'm going to go to work and not complain. You come home. I'm not expecting you to, I'm expecting you to be a woman, but then there's some days I'm going to say, hey, you and your mom said, let me just make my husband a sandwich. There's nothing hurting in it. You just got off of work. There's nothing hurting about that. I know you tired. He ain't asking you to do that today. And this is what we're saying, but we all make all this sound very criminal. like it's a chore or something like that. And our mothers and fathers has been doing this unknowingly without even complaining.
Yeah, go ahead. T.
I agree. I agree with what he's saying.
Go ahead, True.
Oh yeah, that's where I was heading. And this is why I love it here, because the minds here are basically congruent. We're really exemplifying that proverb, iron sharp as iron. So again, it's always a privilege to be with you, brothers.
Likewise, brother.
It's always a privilege to be with you too as well. Yeah, we're about to get ready to close, but it's always
I'm gonna make this quick. So, like he said, the weaponization of what makes us great. Our gifts are supposed to be what defines us and be a blessing to others. We're now using those gifts as weapons to actually stab each other with.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? If a woman is educated and she done got her master's, she, is supposed to be viewed as in, wow, baby, you did something, and now that's going to help us. But once again, now you taking that, and because you have, exceeded me on a worldly view, now you want to take away my purpose as a man. Now I'm going to delegate what's going on in the household. And that's not what that's for. It's supposed to be for the family. So now you're stepping into something that you did great, and now you want to turn it into selfishness. Where and I want you brothers to really think about this. When a man has a family and he accomplished more, what does he do? He give more to his family. It's not even about him. He wants more money for his family. If he go to college, he want more money. He want more for his family. He get a car, it's for his family. He get a house. Oh, I got 4 kids, so I need 4 bedrooms. It's for the family. You see what I'm saying? The problem is, once again, we're out of order. It's being weaponized. And we have to get back to loving each other. The love is gone. The love in this world has waxed cold. It's basically almost non-existent. And the reason why it's non-existent, because where did we get love from? Love came from women.
Yeah.
Women teach men how to love. Back in the day, why these men, KC and JoJo and all them was singing these songs, it was because of a woman.
Yep.
They was in love. You taught them how to love, and it came out of them. You see what I'm saying? They were in love, man. You can hear it and you can feel it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to help women understand. Get to what you're great. Love and nurturing. It doesn't mean you're less or inferior. What's wrong with being loving and nurturing? I'm sure if other men had that great gift to consistently give that and provide that, which a lot of us do, but I'm talking about what they were built to do and feed the children with that. That's why a lot of people don't have EQ, which is emotional intelligence. And that creates the ability on how to handle certain things. They wasn't taught well with their mother. The mother is one that provides with them and help them to understand. Yes, you have emotions, and it's okay to have emotions, but learn how to be less emotional and try to think out what's going on and what's happening. The mother is the backbone, and you don't have to be the head, but everybody know, if they know anatomy, what holds the whole entire body up? The backbone. That's why I said, if you just yourself, you be what you created to be, it doesn't mean you're less than. You're really the most important part. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. A man can be successful without a woman, but he can't be complete. He cannot be complete without his wife, his better half, his rib. And every great man that we do know, they had that woman in that background that you didn't see, keeping them fed when they were sick, nursing them back to health. The love, the nurturing, the constant adoration and uplifting. That woman was providing that to keep that man's strength so he can go out here and get it done. You are the most important part. marriage is more important to men than it is women. And a lot of men is not going to like hearing that. But we need women more than they need us.
Facts.
We really do.
Facts.
Everything that we need, the one thing that creates us immortalized is to have children. That's how our likeness and our lineage keep going. We can't do that without a woman. She helps us bring our likeness from the spiritual realm into the physical manifestation. Our likeness, which is our seed, births through her, and she brings and helps us to bring that into this world. We have to start try to get women that love doing that now. I'm coming to help you with your legacy. I want to be a part of that. I like, show me your plan. Oh, that's your plan? Oh, I like that. Let's do that. So men need to come with a plan, and then women got to find, like, hey, ask them what his plan is. And then if you like it, be on board with it to the end. That's it. And let's love each other. Actually love each other, brother.
Man, dude, that's powerful. You got the final say so, the final words as we get ready to close.
I appreciate y'all having me on here. I really appreciate the conversation.
Hey, we love having, and we're gonna close out with your song. We're fast.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we got you, buddy. We got you.
Hey,
shout out to all the subscribers, man. We really do greatly appreciate it. We're not gonna close yet because we're gonna play T new songs. So sit back, guys, relax, and you know how we do when we
hey, T, not to cut you off, my brother. Don't thank me. Thank Natasha Vincent. She the one put it in the. She was already listening to the track while we was on, and she said we're fashion.
Appreciate it, Natasha. Appreciate it.
And shout outs to K Smooth. He's a new subscriber on Ronnie's channel.
No, not me. Jordan channel.
Oh, that's Jordan.
That's Jordan.
That's me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out to K Smooth. Hey,
K Smooth.
Hey, man, thank you so much. Good evening. Oh man, love you too. Truth. That's my brother. We love you, and love always having you here. Truth. If you're not busy, you could always come here and get on this panel and let's get busy. You know what I mean? Because we're about promoting progressive thought. And this is why we here. We love the women in our fold. They makes us better. You know what I mean? We strive to be husbands, strive to be better men in the community, strive to be better fathers. And that's the goal. I don't know. Go ahead, brothers, before I play the song.
No, yeah, that was sorry, man. That was it. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody for being here. Shout out to T. Shout out to True for coming on the panel as well. T, we appreciate you, man. Hope we see you again. Don't be a stranger. You're welcome to your pretty much Chaos Culture Radio family. Come back anytime. And guys, that's why it's so important to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock each and time. Now, you see today, we surprised you by going live. That's why you got to hit that notification bell, because you never know. We may surprise you again. Not only that, but make sure you go to Chaos Culture Radio Community tab. In the Community tab, there's a Chaos Culture Radio t-shirt, and also Prince Hakeem new book, Black Love. Come over here and support the platform. We really do greatly appreciate it. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to Natasha Vincent. Motivating Vision, you already know. Shout out to Sugar Bomb. Shout out to Urban Noise. Shout out to First Sound Florida. Of course, shout out to T, True, Sugar Bomb, No Chaser, SD. Who else we have here?
Sherry Bryant, Sky.
Shout out to that person that's watching us on Instagram. Also, those that's watching us on Facebook. Because sometimes some people might watch the playback T, so they might see playback as well. So that's why we make sure to put your channel there, because they're gonna see it on the playback. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Enjoy this music by T. We see you guys on Monday. We over and out.
We're fashion.
Top of the morning, chillin' in a sauna. Think about how much money I could conjure. Dead presidents make niggas act spooky. Go ghost on me, acting like they never knew me. But truly, I need to show my face more. I need real chains like Ace stores. Be a franchise player, I need the ring. Nights like this, I ain't wish diamonds for man. I ain't really need the ball. Up late night trying to figure out life. I ain't need a check from reality for all the sadness and they casualties. Nowadays getting kinda sticky. Going to the club is kinda risky. Niggas get emotional. Hold on, 2 things on the wing. Call a Gundam, leave you frozen like the tundra. Now you gotta deal with the conundrum. Man, I just wanna dance with an ill chick. Man, I just really wanna feel rich. Man, that lifestyle be an ill flick. Yeah, making money off my passion. Just laughing on the runway. Yeah, rockin' with fashion. Yeah, man, just laughing on the runway. Yeah, rockin' with fashion. I need a few bands to my sample. Like, we out the world, Quincy Jones playing the piano. So I could civilize my efforts. I would win if I was a little more brass. But my rudiments so cool, so calm. Driving through the city on a mission. Roller coaster vision. I don't celebrate on a weekend. I celebrate when I win. Yeah, the day the girl that's ghetto and bougie. She moody till I play shy. They a we change the color on the move ring to the same tone. Keep the queen scene. Yeah, then we ring till we see a prince. Cut from a different fabric, a new fashion. We don't look how you look right. We don't wear what you wear right. What I do is so top flight, yeah, so lunar. Take her to the night, like the way that I move in these bright lights, so nice. Escapade when I slide, vibing, cold moves and out fried, rolling. Picture me, busting out with my art, moving smart, still staying humble, but I still gotta shine on no, yeah. But I still got a groove on no, yeah. Making money off my passion, just laughing on the runway, yeah, rocking with fashion. Yeah, man, just laughing on the runway, yeah, rocking with fashion.
Let's get it. We out. Peace.
Peace.